Okay, guys, let's talk about scalar multiplication of matrices. Now, there are actually two different types of multiplication when it comes to matrices. The first one is scalar, when we multiply just a number by a matrix, and then the next one is called matrix multiplication that will get its own video. So we're going to start out with scalar multiplication. So this is when you multiply a number by a matrix, or a matrix by a number. Okay, the scalars are lowercase letters. So we can tell the difference between a matrix, which is an uppercase letter. So you might see something that looks like this, little k times matrix m, something like that. But what we usually see is things like this. So given matrix A, let's say that's 1, -2, 5, 3, -2, 1. Matrix B, 10, 13, -11, 10, 2, and -7. You'll be given like a couple of different matrices at the top, and then it'll say something like this, 2 times A. So what you would do is you write the scalar 2 on the outside of the matrix. Okay, and you literally multiply every entry in that matrix by 2. So you would get 2 times 1, 2 times 3, 2 times a -2, 2 times a -2, 2 times a 5, 2 times a 1. So your answer could be 2, 6, -4, -4, 10, 2. And that's it. That's multiplication by a scalar. Okay? Now, to make it a little bit more interesting, what we could do is we could do stuff like this. We could go -4 times B. So -4 times matrix B. And you can do this in your head. You don't have to write out every single step. Okay, so like if I were doing this, I would be like, oh, okay, well, that's -40, that's -52, that's +44, that's +40, that's -8, and that's +28. Okay, and then what is really kind of cool is we can combine these with addition subtraction. So I can start asking you questions that look like this: 3a plus 2b. Okay, so that would look like let's write it out. And again, you guys can probably do a lot of this in your head. It's really no big deal. For me personally, though, I like to write it out. So distribute your 3. Distribute your 2. Don't lose your place. Okay, and now since you've done your scalar multiplication, what you're going to do is you're going to add. Okay, remember you add by entries. So row 1, column 1 gets added to row 1, column 1. So 23, then the next one, -6 and -11, -17, 15 and 4, that's -19, 9 and 26, that's 35, 14, and finally -11. And then you're done. Okay? So not too bad for scalar multiplication, kind of fun. Okay? Now, the question is what do we use this for? Okay? So let's think about geometry for a sec. Okay? So what I'm going to do is I am going to draw a shape on a coordinate plane. And I'm going to make it really simple. I'm going to keep everything in the first quadrant. Okay? And I'm going to choose the super easy point of 0, 0. And then I'm going to choose, let's see, that would be 2, 4. So basically here I am drawing a parallelogram. Oops, that's a little too long. So the coordinates of my parallelogram are 0, 0, 2, 4, 5, 4, and then 3, 0. Okay, so if I write that as a matrix, okay, I'm going to write my x values as a row, and then I'm going to write my y values in a row. So basically, all of these points would look like this. 0, 0, that would be my first point. 2, 4, 5, 4, 3, 0. Okay? So x is on the top, y is on the bottom. Okay? So ask yourself what would happen if I multiply this particular matrix by a 2. What do you think would happen? So I get 0, 0, 4, 8, 10, 8, 6, 0. Let's graph that, see what it looks like. 0, 0, 4, 8, then 10, let's see, that's 3, 6, 10, 8, and then 6, 0. So what happened to your parallelogram? Looks like it got bigger, right? Okay. Okay. Now let's see what happens. Whoops. If I take my same matrix, my original green matrix, but this time I'm going to multiply it by 1/2. Okay, so if I multiply it by 1/2, I get 0, 0, 1, 2, 2.52, and then 1.50. Just like that. So what did that do to your parallelogram? A scalar of 1/2 made the parallelogram smaller. Okay, so writing it down as a matrix is actually really efficient. Okay, because it's an array, it's easy to enter. It's just really cool, and then we don't have to draw it out. We can kind of just get our coordinates super quick. Okay, so that is scalar multiplication. Our next video will be on matrix multiplication.